The Great Cheese Heist. Chapter 3. The detective arrives. As chaos reigned in the square, a lone figure pushed through the panicked crowd. He wore a long trench coat over what looked like hastily thrown-on clothes, and the brim of his fedora cast a shadow over his sharp eyes. This was Detective Miller, the most brilliant and perhaps the only detective in Cheese City. Clearly pulled from his bed by the crisis, he moved with a quiet confidence that stood in stark contrast to the surrounding hysteria. Mayor Mortimer rushed to him, his face pale and his whiskers drooping with despair. "Miller, thank goodness you're here. It is a catastrophe. A nightmare." Detective Miller simply nodded and walked calmly towards the violated vault. At first glance, it looked as though the massive steel door had been violently ripped outwards, a classic scene of a brute force robbery. But Miller, who always looked for the details others missed, moved closer. He ran his hand over the cold, bent metal, and there, amidst the torn steel and almost hidden by the superficial damage, he found it, a perfect, clean-cut circular hole, with smooth, machined edges, punched straight through the solid steel. Instantly, a memory sparked in the detective's mind. The clock tower case. Years ago, a cunning snake who had a unique method of entry, striking with its powerful tail to punch similar holes through wooden doors. Miller had severely injured the snake's tail in that confrontation, and had thought he'd put it out of commission for good. Now he understood the whole scene. It was a masterful performance. The thief had first created the hole to get inside, and then, from within, had forced the door outwards to make it look like a common robbery, hiding the true method of entry. The signature was the same, but the power was new and terrifying. He knelt, examining the ground, now knowing exactly what to look for. First, he found the tuft of cat fur, the obvious bait, planted to mislead everyone. Then, inches away, he found a single, small drop of black oil. He carefully collected both clues in separate evidence bags. He stood and faced the mayor, holding up the bag with the fur. "Mayor," he said, "it seems our thieves were not only strong, but also furry." A gasp went through the nearby crowd. "The alley cats," someone shouted, and the rumor spread like wildfire. Detective Miller stood with a thoughtful expression. He looked at the panicked crowd, then at the hidden hole in the door and the two conflicting clues in his hand. The fur was a lie, but the hole in the oil revealed a horrifying truth. The ghost of his old enemy was not only alive but had returned stronger than ever. This wasn't a simple robbery. This was revenge. Meanwhile, far from the chaos of the main square, deep within a subterranean workshop that smelled sharply of oil and hot metal, the sounds of tools could be heard. A brief spark from a welding torch momentarily illuminated a horde of gears, pistons, and complex technical schematics hanging on the walls. In a corner of the workshop, a small, old television was playing Ricky Reporter's live broadcast of the city's turmoil. The sound of grinding metal paused for a moment. Then, a quiet, deep, and utterly satisfied laugh echoed through the workshop, a laugh that blended softly with the panicked voice of the reporter before being lost again in the sound of working metal.